Several veteran House members are leaving the legislature, and the close of this spring session marks the end of their legislative careers. On his last day as an active House member, we spoke with Representative John Fritchey of Chicago to get his thoughts on his career and the legislative process. This runs about 10 minutes. Representative John Fritchey, thanks for joining us on the Illinois Channel. And you have been a veteran of the Illinois House of Representatives for a number of years. Tell us, first of all, how long have you been in the body?
It's been 14 years. Some days it seems like just yesterday, other days it seems like 30 years.
And as we tape this, the legislature is hopefully coming to a conclusion of its spring session. So this may be one of the very last days that you are a member of the House, at least when they are in session, as you are seeking now election to the Cook County Board. Tell us your thoughts as you are leaving this body and just how you have seen things develop over the course of time that you've been in the House.
Oh, it's a bittersweet day. Today will be my last day in session. I was 31 years old when I first ran. And I came here, I tell everybody I got sworn in on a Tuesday, thought I'd change the world by Friday. Learned a lot. I've met some tremendous people over the years, learned about issues I never would have had a chance to learn about. Traveled not only around the state, but around the country and around the world, trying to work on issues that are important to Illinois. But I think you walk away with a lot of victories that you can point to, whether it's issues such as payday loan reform, ending pay-to-play in Illinois, cleaning up campaign finance reform, just a lot of things that I think I can be proud of as having played a role in. At the other hand, there's things that still remain unanswered. I would have hoped that we would have fixed how we fund education in Illinois before I left. The debate had been around long before I got here, and unfortunately it looks like it'll be around long after I leave. But my view of this body is the same as when I got here. I think it's been a privilege to serve. It's been an honor. And you have to remember that you're not here for yourself, you're here for the people that sent you here.
One of the probably most memorable votes had to be when you're voting on the impeachment of Governor Blagojevich. Obviously the first time that's ever happened in Illinois history. Is that one of the things that stand out in your mind? And aside from that, what are some of the other votes that come to mind over your course of time?
Well, it's an unfortunate reality that taking part in an impeachment hearing and vote is a historical event that most legislators hopefully will never have gone through. Being able to sit on this special investigative committee that heard the testimony leading up to the House's vote to impeach was an ominous honor, one that I took very seriously. And obviously one that I'll talk about for years to come. It's one that'll be in the history books. But you learn, and I think that with this job comes the highs that come when you do things the right way, and the lows that happen to people when they don't do things the right way. So that's something that'll always be there.
I'm sorry, I was going to just say you had mentioned that you had learned different things since the time that you've been in over the 14 years. And when you talk to constituents, what are some of the things that where you might think that they don't understand a certain aspect of the legislative process that maybe frustrates you? What would you share with people that they might want to understand about government that you came to learn?
I think just that there's so many things that are going on at any given point in time, and they wonder, well, if you're busy working on this issue, how can you tend to this issue that's important to us? But on any given day, we may deal with dozens, if not hundreds, of pieces of legislation. And what's important, not just for the public to realize, but for my colleagues to remember too, is that every bill that we deal with impacts somebody's life, somebody's livelihood, some aspect of Illinois. So you're not just pushing a button, you really are impacting the future of Illinois with each vote you cast.
One of the things that struck me when I came here from covering Congress is that you, as members of the Illinois legislature, really take more votes, have virtually no staff. A congressional House member might have 12 or 15 staff members. You basically are sharing a secretary. How is it that you were able to keep up with the amount of bills and all that go through this place?
I have to tell you, I've worked hard these last 14 years. People that know me know that if they email me at 1 in the morning, odds are that I'm up on the laptop doing work. Whether it's starting my day, I read 7 newspapers to start the day. Between the Chicago papers, the Journal Register, the suburban papers, the national papers, because you just want to know what's going on, not just in your neighborhood, but around the state and around the country. And the majority of men and women that serve in public office in Springfield, they are well-intentioned, they're hardworking. We may not get it right every time. We may not agree with each other every time, but by and large, we're trying to do the right thing.
One of the things I know, you are on Facebook. I see your postings. We've talked with Senator Dan Rutherford. He also does it. As a lawmaker, is that just something that's a fun outlet, or does it in any way tie into the job?
Well, I think it's both, and it's been interesting to watch technology evolve just during my legislative career. Back in the day when I first started doing email newsletters, and really nobody was even doing that, to then my blog, which became one of the most widely read first-hand political blogs in the country. And now to my use of Facebook and Twitter, where, you know what, the way I do it, it's really, they see the personal side of me as well as the professional side. So sure, politically, it gives me the ability with a few keystrokes to communicate with thousands of people. But it's not just about legislative happenings. It may just be my frustrations in day-to-day life, what's going, my musical taste, what's going on with my daughter, whatever it may be. But I think that having that type of social media, it helps humanize the elected officials, because people forget sometimes that, we're human beings just like they are. We have trials and tribulations, and I think that lets them see a different side of us.
Break down those barriers. Now, the reason you're leaving the House is not that you're tired of public office. You're actually seeking a new office. Tell us about what you're seeking, and why did you opt to go for a different office?
Well, I'm going to hopefully go to the Cook County Board to become a commissioner in the 12th District. It gives me the opportunity to actually represent 3 times as many people as I represent as a state representative. These days, the most common question that I get is, why would you possibly want to go to the Cook County Board? And I think I'm going there because that's where the fights are. A lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish down in Springfield have been done. And while there's still work to be done here, obviously, there's a lot of men and women here that are ready and willing to do that work. In Cook County, we lost a couple leading reform voices. Mike Quigley, who's now in Congress, Forrest Claypool, who's running for Cook County Assessor. I think there's a void there for a reform voice. I think that there are fights that need to be fought at Cook County. And I'm ready to take on some new battles. At the same time, as I've told people, I have a 14-year-old daughter. While she may want me around less at times, I want to be around more. And it gives me a combination to really go into the next chapter of life, let somebody come in here with a fresh set of eyes and viewpoints to represent the 11th District, and we move forward.
And just before we close out, we don't have a lot of time left, but is there anything that you're particularly proud of that you accomplished here in the House, or not, or is it maybe, not, I don't want to put you on the spot, maybe there's not just one thing, but...
I think there's a number of legislative accomplishments that I could point to, but I think more generally what I'm proud of has been my ability and efforts to work with members from both sides of the aisle, from around the state, to recognize that what's important to you may not be a priority to them, but if you want people to respect your opinion, you have to respect theirs. And I tried to instill that in other members, and hopefully if I can leave any kind of legacy, that'll be part of what it is.
All right, Representative John Fritchey, good luck to you, and thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure all these years.
You're watching the Illinois Channel, an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois.